is visible. Please write down this table. The three germ layers that give rise to embryonic other organs. Can you all see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Please write down this table. Important table. This is General Sanika has uploaded the image. Do check. See, there are few things that when I've told you about that portion, test portion, and I've asked Pina ma'am to upload it, what is coming, just read that much. Very good. If you have more time, read more extra. But do not see whatever you read, it's not going to be waste. It's always is benefited. It will be easier for the upcoming test. Okay? The paper will be easy, but see that I want your sincerity when answering the paper. Answer it sincerely. The objective question type for tomorrow's human reproduction. Very small topic I have given. Just male and female reproductive system structure. Please do let me know once you're done writing this. If you're taking a screenshot, please do let me know. Do not waste the time. I hope you're done writing this. Let's move to the next.
Ma'am, please show the last slide.
Can you see? Can you see the screen? Done
Yes,
writing?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Done writing? Okay, next. Next, we are talking about this is about the gastrulation. In the gastrulation, you should know what? In the gastrulation, you should know what is gastrulation, what is the process, and what are the different germ cells, how they are formed. And from that different germ cells, we are getting into an organ and organ system of organization. So, different organs coming from the three germ cells. Fine. The next thing, write down as placenta. Please draw this structure. No, please draw the structure. This structure. CT is connective tissue. V is blood vessels. Chorion. What is placenta? Connection between mother and fetus. It is a temporary structure. Done? Are you all done writing this? Next. On the basis of structures, write down classification of placenta on the basis of structures or on the basis of placental barriers. You do not have to write down A, B, C, D, C. You just write down classification of placenta on the basis of structures or on the basis of placental barriers. Okay. Are you done writing this? Please copy this slide. I'll explain you.
Ma'am, please show the previous slide.
What?
Ma'am, show the previous slide.
Previous slide on the basis of structure or on the basis of placental barrier. Classification of placenta. Done. Now we need to see the placenta contribution is from baby and from the mother. Do you agree? The placental concentration, the contribution from both plays an important role. So there are different barriers. Based on that, there are different types of placenta which are seen. So you should know that the barriers, first one is blood vessels. Around the blood vessels, you find a connective tissue, and the membrane that participate in the placenta is chorion membrane. Remember this. Now, when you come to a mother side, the membrane that participate is uterine epithelium, that is endothelium, that needs to get eroded so that they can form a connection. The next is blood connective tissue surrounding it, and then the blood vessels. So, based on the barriers, different barriers, you have different placenta that we need to study. For example, the first one is epitheliochorial, in which you have all six types of placenta, six types of barriers present. Exactly how it is shown in the diagram, something like that. So you have all six types of barriers which are present. Such type is called epitheliochorial type. This is seen in hoofed mammals such as horse, ass, pig, lemurs. Syndesmochorial, in which uterine epithelium is absent. So, if one epithelium is absent, how many barriers are present? You have five placental barriers. Seen in again cow, buffalo, sheep, goat, camel, giraffe. Endotheliocorial is where uterine and uterine connective tissue is absent. So, remaining will be four placental barriers. Are you understanding? Which is seen in dog, cats, carnivorous mostly. And hemochorial is where uterine epithelium, uterine connective tissue, and endothelium of blood vessel is also absent. Everything is absent of all the from the mother sides. So with the three fetal barriers, example is man, apes, monkey. So human beings show hemochorial placenta. Hemoendothelial is fetal capillaries is indirect contact with the maternal blood. Only one placenta. So you have only one blood vessels. Of whom? Of the baby. Rest everything is lost, is bathed in the maternal blood. So this type is seen in rat, guinea pigs, and rabbit. Point is clear. Did you understood the slide? Did you understood the barriers? Come on, tell me. Doubts? What are the 6 barriers? See, first is blood vessels of mother. Second is connective tissue of mother. Then uterine epithelium of mother. 3 barriers. Next. Other one, blood vessels of baby, connective tissue of baby, and chorion of baby. 3. So altogether 6 barriers. So with the evolution or with the placental, there are different structures. With the absence of one or two barriers, it leads to a different form of placenta. Any other point, ma'am? Could you explain the third one again? Third one is which one? Endotheliocorial, where uterine epithelium and uterine connective tissue is absent. The one with the, if you have seen buffalo, cow legs, horse legs, you do not have digits, right? They are hoofed animals. Yes. Sanika, did you understood the point? Yes, those 2 barriers are absent. Connective tissue is absent and epithelium is also absent. Which is the leftover? The leftover are the baby, all the 3 babies barrier and 1 blood vessels from the mother. So 4 barriers. Others, any more doubts? Others, any doubts? Hoofed, you don't know hoofed? You have seen deer's legs? Yes, have you seen deer's legs? Horse legs. Those with those digits are called as hoofed animals. Yes, did you got the point? Okay. Okay, I hope you all are done writing this. Madhura, any doubts? Pruha, Padma, Faye, Leela, Shruti. Lisa, belated wishes to you on your birthday. So, placenta on the basis of chorionic villi distribution. Please write down placenta on the basis of, now the differentiation of placenta on the basis of chorionic villi distribution. Chorionic villi distribution. First one is diffuse type. First one is diffuse type. Diffuse type, here chorionic villi are uniform in distribution. Example, horse, pig. Cotyledonary is where they are found in cluster of chorionic villi. Example, cattle. Next, discoid. Discoidal in the form of disc. Chorionic villi arrange in disc. Example, rabbit and rat. Zonary, chorionic villi in the griddle shape. Example, elephant, carnivorous. Please write down. Next, done. Next, there is a metadiscoidal. One more, which is called as metadiscoidal. Please write down. Metadiscoidal. I'm writing on the new slide. Metadiscoidal. Initially, the villi are spread over. Stage understanding. Later forms cluster at one side. Example, humans, primates, yeah, done. So this is about the human placenta. So this is a metadiscoidal, which is seen in primates, human. Human example, very important. You should know what kind of placental barrier they show, what kind of placental barriers type, yeah, and also they are a distribution of chorionic villi. You should be aware of. This can be MCQ question for your medical exam. Is Dayla in the class? Any doubts, Dayla? Okay. Next move. Next topic. See, there can be a non-deciduous placenta or deciduous placenta. There can be non-deciduous placenta or deciduous placenta. Non-deciduous is without intermediate contact between fetus and uterine wall. At the time of parturition, villi are easily withdrawn from the maternal crypts without causing any tissue damage. Thus, no part of uterine tissue comes out and there is no bleeding occurs. Non-deciduous matlab there is no intimate contact. When the during the parturition, when the baby withdrawal of the baby, there might not be necessary there should be a damage or the bleeding that occurs. That type is called non-deciduous. Those are called non-deciduous placenta, where there is no very strong intimation between the two. During the parturition, there might not be a tissue damage or uterine comes out or there is no bleeding that occurs. I hope you're done writing. Let's move to the next. In this, diffuse and cotyledon, you know what is diffuse and cotyledonary. They both comes under non-deciduous placenta. They both come under, you just write down the example diffuse type and cotyledonary comes under non-deciduous type of placenta. Next. Deciduous is where the intimate connected at birth, a variable amount of maternal tissue is pulled out with the shedding of blood. Where you can see zonary, discoidal, and metadiscoidal. All this comes under deciduous types of placenta. This is all you have written. The rest part, you just have to write deciduous placenta, non-deciduous placenta, and which type comes under it. Okay. Now, what are the functions of placenta? Important to note. Very important part. One is, you know that the connection between the mother and the fetus is through placenta. The supply to the nutrition, supply oxygen, removal of the waste, everything is with the placenta. And also to provide the immunity, hormone production, and it acts like a temporary endocrine gland because it secretes hormones. All the hormones that are released from the placenta is very important concept for the MCQ type of questions. Human chorionic gonadotrophic hormones, which maintains corpus luteum, placenta lactogen that helps in the production of milk, chorionic thyrotrophin hormone that activates the thyroid gland so that the growth can happen, human chorionic corticotrophic hormone that determines the time of the childbirth, estrogen, progesterone, which are the hormone pregnancy hormone, relaxin that will relax the pelvic ligament during the time of parturition. So all these functions are important. A question can be for any marks. If it is for more marks, you need to elaborate and write. If it is for 2 marks, you can just write down as it is. If it's given for the more marks, please try to elaborate the functions of the hormones and write the stuff. You want me to show the previous slide? 2 minutes, just write down. See, diffuse and cotility comes under non-deciduous. Zonary, discoidal, and meta will come under deciduous. Madhura, is it clear? Please write down. Zachary, are you there in the class? Done? Next. If you see this slide, if you see this slide, you can see this is a placental. This is the placenta. Okay, this part is only of baby and this part is of mother. So here the diffusion or the exchange, embryo and the mother exchange happens. See, there is no mixing of blood. Remember, if there's a mixing of blood, you know what will happen. So it is just an exchange of waste, water, carbon dioxide, nutrients, antibiotics, oxygen through mother and embryo through the placenta. Are you understanding? Just for your understanding, ma'am, how does it exchange? It exchanges through the diffusion method, waste and nutrients, the requirement between the baby. Only umbilical cord. Does umbilical cord carries mother's blood? Does umbilical cord carries mother's blood in the slide? No. Okay, done. Next. Human placenta. Just write down few points I would like to mention here. Let me add the slide. Let us write down. I hope everybody can see human placenta. Very important points. Please write down. Done? Any doubts? Is everything clear to one and all there? Okay. So this is about the human placenta. Go through it quickly. You know hormones of the human placenta we have discussed. We have discussed about the umbilical cord. What is umbilical cord? Connects placenta with fetus. You can write down this. Made up of mucopolysaccharide. And you know that umbilical cord has 100% fetal blood, that is, which is very, very important. Okay, next. Now we talk about the pregnancy. Write down. Write down the next word, pregnancy. Done writing? Okay. Next, what is the gestation period? Gestation period. Time between conception to birth. Human gestation time, very important this, 6 days or 38 weeks from fertilization. Or 280 days, 40 weeks from last MC. Or 9 months, 7 days. Done. Up to 8 weeks, the conceptus is known as embryo. Up after 8 weeks to 2 months, after 8 weeks to 2 months, is known as fetus. After 1 month of pregnancy, heart develops. After 2 months, limbs and digits. The development in which month is important for heart. Please make a note. Previous year questions. Please write down this. Next. Are you all done writing this? The time of uh, gestation. 40 weeks. Where is 40 weeks? From last MC. Yes, from the last MC, or you can count, if you count it as a days, it will be 280 days. If you count it in months, it will be 9 months, 7 days. Yes, and Janine, did you understood? Next. After 3 months, major organ system are fully formed. Fourth month, maximum growth rate. Third trimester, lanugo appears. What is this? It's a soft, hairy covering over the fetus. Soft, hairy covering after, covering over the fetus. Done? Any doubts? Changing the slide. Okay, next. If you're done with this, next we need to go for the. This is the different stages for 1 month, 2 month, 3 month. How the baby takes part. Okay, 5th month, 6th month, 7th month, 8th month, 9th month. So the different stages, you do not have to know this. It's just for your understanding. You can see the placenta, umbilical cord, amniotic sac, amniotic fluid. Yeah. Can you see this slide? It's just for your understanding how the baby is floating in the mother's womb, the connection, placenta, umbilical cord, then the amniotic sac. Yeah. Next. Next is parturition and lactation. What is parturition? Human pregnancy has a duration of 9 months. This duration is called gestation period. We have studied. At the end of this period, there's a vigorous uterine contraction lead to the delivery of the fetus. This is called as parturition. So, the delivery of the fetus, yolk sac get reduced. In humans, the yolk sac get reduced. It plays the important function in forming a blood cells. Once the bone marrow take apart, yolk sac gets reduced. Yes, did you understood? Once the gonads are formed fully, once the formation of blood cells is taken by the bone marrow, yolk sac gets reduced. At the end of this period, vigorous uterine contraction leads to the delivery of fetus. This process is called parturition. Now, parturition, how does it happen? Parturition starts by the signals developed by fetus and the placenta. Important to note. First stimulus of parturition is given by fully developed fetus, which is very important. It is given by fully developed fetus. Parturition is started by single signals from the developed fetus and the placenta, which is called as fetal ejection reflex. Very important. Who gives the signal for the time for the birth? The fetus itself gives the signal. With that signal, even placenta play a role in getting the signal stronger. This signals when it is given by the fetus, there is a release of oxytocin. You know what is oxytocin do? We have studied this. From where it is reduced? From the posterior part of pituitary. Remember, this gives a strong uterine contraction. That's a labor pain. You might have heard about labor pain. Who gives this? By the oxytocin hormone, which is stronger uterine contraction coming, and then that labor pain at the delivery, the relaxin hormone also increases from the placenta and the ovaries to relax the ligament. Parturition is a complex, it's not only the endocrine, but it's a neuroendocrine process. Everything, both neurons and the endocrine system plays a role because it's an involvement of hormones also. This expulsion of the baby along with the placenta, this leads to the expulsion of baby along with the placenta, and this is how the placenta, how the parturition happens in the human, the childbirth. So very important to note that fetal reflection reflex कहाँ से आता है? Baby से. Baby is the first one to produce. Then once it produces, this sends the signals to the brain, the pituitary, to release the hormone, that is oxytocin. As the oxytocin increases, there is a lot of labor pain, and as the labor pain starts, the uterine contraction starts, and that leads to the parturition process, or it is a childbirth process. Okay, everybody understood what is parturition? Any doubts? Any doubts, students? Come on, respond. Can you see the process of parturition? The ligaments relax with the help of relaxin hormone. Then the baby push itself and come up along with the placenta. Right? Can you see the diagram? This is just for your understanding. Nobody will ask you the diagrams. Next is lactation. Lactation means what? You has the baby is delivered. The second thing happens is the lactation. So okay, before we lactation, first is the cervix get dilated, right? Dilation, I hope everybody knows what is dilation. With previous slide, which is I'm showing you now, dilates. As it dilates, the cervix or the ligaments get dilates, then there's a rupture of fluid bag. That's a amnion. There's a rupture of amnion. There's a fluid, there's a release of fluid. And then has that the baby try to expulsion. It try to expulsion stage. And in this case, head comes first. And then there's a cut of the umbilical cord. Umbilical cord is cut. This is how the which hormone relaxes the pubic symphysis? Do you know pubic symphysis? Everybody know pubic symphysis. Which hormone relaxes the pubic symphysis? Come on, tell me. Has a baby start to contraction begins, the baby is in amniotic fluid. Yes, its baby is in amniotic sac. Has a contraction begins, the water leaks out from the vagina. That is called water break off. Once the water break off, then the baby will start to hit on the mother's womb and try to come out through the head, through the cervix, dilated cervix, and the baby by itself with the contraction, with the help of contraction, expels out. Yes, is it clear? The breaking of amniotic fluid is called water break off. Others, any doubts? Pubic symphysis. Which hormones relaxes the pubic symphysis? Relaxin, the pelvic region, right? Relaxin that looses the pelvic ligaments so that there can be easy birth. So vagina and cervix both is known to be a birth canal. Do you remember vagina and cervix? Yes, relaxin. Very good. Clear? Now, lactation. Coming to the point of lactation. Lactation is where you have milk. That's a nourishment to the baby, right? What is lactation? Secretion and release of milk from the mammary gland to nurse the newborn. So, what is lactation? Secretion and release of milk from mammary gland to nurse the newborn. Milk secretions is under the hormones, that is lactogen and prolactin. But milk let down hormone is oxytocin. Along with the parturition, the other function of oxytocin is to leave the let the milk has come and stored in the ampulla now, in the nipples, in the ampulla. So that has to be led off. Who gets the lead off of the milk? Is from the oxytocin. It's a milk let down hormone. Oxytocin is also called as love hormone. It is a milk ejection hormone, or and also the milk produced during the first week of the lactation is colostrum, which is very important MCQ. It contains proteins, lactose, but an antibody, that is IgA, that is transport to a baby through milk. Very important question. Which antibody transferred from baby to a milk is the mm, from a milk to a baby, mother's milk to a baby is antibody A, that provides immunity to the baby. It's formed in the mother's body and it's given, the immunity is given to a baby. Clear? Any doubts? See, very easy chapter. I know it's lengthy, but if you stay sit and read properly, you will understand it easy. If you have doubts, you can get back to me anytime. For tomorrow, see that you answer it well and see that you cover the portion. Do not leave only. If it's given only this much, I'm going to read for full 1 week, I'm going to read only this. No. You have to keep reading extra now because you need to manage the time. Are you all getting the point? Any doubts to anyone? Any doubts for today's class? So, with this, I'm happy to say that we have finished this a very big chapter, and this happened because you could give me some extra classes. Otherwise, getting a class for 1 or 2 days, 2 days of the week, it's not possible. But anyway, so we have finished this chapter, which is very important. Human physiology for both your board as well as NIT. Is it interesting? Is the chapter interesting? Why you didn't want this chapter to finish? Why? Why? What happened? Don't worry. The upcoming chapter also we make it interesting, and we try to learn good stuff. So what about others? You're so happy that it finished. Acha, खुशी के answer. Okay, good. What about others? Did you all enjoy the chapter? How much percent have you understood? Without reading, forget of reading and giving self-study time, but have you understood at least 80% of it when I was explaining? The flow should be there. Okay, it's from we started with the male and female reproductive structures, organs, gamete formation, how this gametes comes together, fuse, fertilization happening at different parts, and then going to after fertilization, development taking place at different stages. After development, how the gestation happens, parturition, parturition, parturition taking place, lactation. Main thing is hormones. Clear? So we have finished this chapter. Go through it and all the best for tomorrow's paper. Do well. See you all in the next class with the new chapter. Until then, take care. Bye bye. You're welcome. Bye.
Next lesson.
Which is the next chapter? I have not thought. Let me see. Okay, I'll come back with the next chapter.